Hey everyone, as promised, today I'll be going over my 2025 helmet setup, the Crye Precision Airframe. Starting on the left side of the bucket, I have my name ID badge there. It obviously matches the name of the channel, so that's where the name comes from. We have a whole kind of group of guys. It's really nice. We all run them on the left side of our gear. Sometimes we change it up, put it on the arm. It's dependent on the event, and if some guys want to wear the helmet or not. I will always wear the helmet for training. When it comes to this as well, I use the patch to manage a little bit of wire. As you can see under it, we'll get there in a minute. Underneath the patch, I have a rail there. The airframe rails, I leave mine on. A lot of people take them off. They kind of like a slicker look to it. I love kind of onboard hearing protection. I don't like in the ear or anything like that. I like the over. I have the Peltor Contact 3s there, and one kind of mod that I have made to mine, I have paracord wrapped into the actual mounting bracket. So mine, you've seen a lot of guys, they click them, pop them out of place on their helmet. Mine do not do that. So mine, they go to here and they snap back in, which is really nice when you're doing a lot of in-range kind of shooting, right? And you want that suction as tight to your ears, so you don't want obviously a loss of hearing. That's a risk that is not needed when it comes to training. So working continuously from the right side of the helmet, I have a pet cell. This is an E-Light. This is pretty cool. It's a little bit different than like a Princeton Tech. I think it's a little nicer to me. It can be configured right, not just kind of the forward direction. It can be up, so if you want to light up a room or even behind you, which is nice, or even the ground. I've done that before. I mainly use it for like a trail. I can have it on either direction. This side is for white light, the other side's for red. So there's kind of the normal white, there's maxed out. We have the lock to the blinking, and we have all those in red as well, which is nice during those airsoft games. And you can leave it on the red section like I do majority of the time. So what a lot of people have to do, they have to click past the color spectrum to get the red. But here, you can just start on red if you want. You don't have to necessarily start from all the way over here and then rip it to red, right? You don't have to do that. So majority of the time, it stays right here. It's simply held on by the bungee cord with some Velcro on the M90 scrim. That is the base of the helmet. That's kind of my signature look. I get a lot of compliments every time I go out. People are like, wow, what helmet cover is that? It's like, it's 3 layers of M90 scrim. I like to really make it detailed. Sometimes I throw some sticks and leaves in there. However, right now I'm looking for a more kind of slick, kind of streamlined look when it comes to the scrim. Getting back down to the E-Light, I have Velcro on the inside with some hook on the back so it doesn't just bounce down when I'm running around or anything like that. One other kind of feature that's cool, I always like to make my kit multi-use. This particular light does snap off of the mount, so we can take it on and off. And I have a little kind of beanie, so if I'm ever camping, I can use the same light as the one that's on my helmet. So I don't need multiple different lights. I can keep my bag signature down, not carrying extra things twice. And that does remind me, I will get into a packing video and showing you guys how I prep for an event or the range, anything like that. We'll get there eventually. Getting to the mount of the helmet, this is a Wilcox G69. This is the most advanced in-helmet bolted system. This is kind of the new G30. This is the lowest signature and lightest that you can get to the helmet. With it being so close to the helmet, not only do you have less attachment points, which is for less wobble, you feel less weight when the night vision is on your head. And the way I have it configured right now is so this wire is actually not for my night vision. This is for my thermal. And so we're going to get into that right now. There it is, and the configuration of how I run it. I have my thermal. This is a COTI. This is a CE5, so it must be ran off a external power source. I'm going to get there in a minute. That's why the build isn't quite complete. I have it over there on the red mat. You'll see what I'm talking about. right here I have 1431s. These are Elbit tubes. These are YHs, so the top of their line. They're very nice. They're white phosphor Gen 3s. Very clean image, no blems or anything like that. The one thing I wanted to get to, I usually run the Butler Creeks. One kind of annoying thing, when you do have the COTI, you have to make a smaller signature when it comes to what's on your glass. And so I know the Dremel works kind of shaky. I did it before a last minute rain session, but that is a removable sacrificial lens. I have one on this side as well. You can see it's a lot cleaner look. I simply just made this one a lower signature so I could put the thermal over the night vision while having protection for the night vision. And so that's what this honey kind of comb look is on this as well. This is the cold harbor supply that is there. Kind of, it looks like 3D print to me, kind of protection housing for this kind of neck of the thermal, and obviously the glass. That is where the money is, right? So we want protection on that. One thing that I kind of left out before moving on, the way that I have this shim down, I can adjust my focus for my night vision, which a lot of people with COTIs can't do. They have to take off the thermal device, then have the infinite focus, then put it back on. Mine's adjustable, which is really nice. Leading kind of my next point, these articulate, which is really nice. I do have limited articulation on this too because of the wire and the thermal unit. You can see this one can go a little higher than this side. That's okay since I have true fusion ability. Working our way to the, let's say, left side of the helmet from your perspective, I have a Wilcox lanyard. It's a nice kind of insurance kind of purpose, right? I mean, you have this much invested onto your helmet. I mean, you cannot let this hit the concrete or hit the floor. So I know some people rely on their bungees, right, or even their wires, and I'm not that type of guy. If something were to happen with this Wilcox, boom, there you go. They're gonna fall. It's gonna hit me in the nose, and I'm gonna be okay. I can recover with a scratch from my night vision on my nose. So it's a nice feature to have, a little bit of insurance, and it's an only, I think, $25 or $30 product, and well worth it in my opinion. I took the night vision off so you could see it a little better. When the Wilcox is not in use, I take the little clamp here and I usually put it around this bar. You see a lot of guys with their footage, they just kind of let them hang, let them dangle, but I find it makes a lot of extra noise. So why not just put it there, and it's more out of the way and you don't have to worry about it smacking around or anything like that. For the other left side of my helmet, continuing left, I have a Contour. This is a Roam 2. This is 1080p. I plan on upgrading this. It's kind of more or less, it's half, like I obviously do record my footage and everything, but the Contour with the Airframe is such a classic look. It's been on my list to get one of the new Ghost 4K ones so I can get better content for you guys. However, I don't know, to me it's just nostalgic having the Contour on the helmet. Going back to the Contour really fast, I do have it locked in here, so if it were to ever come off my helmet, it is tied on so it wouldn't get lost. So for the rear of the helmet, we're going to start up top. This is the only replica piece on. I got that when I think I was probably 13 or 14 years old. It's a knockoff S&S Manastrobe, and what makes mine really cool, I really love this feature. It has like some water damage. It's been on there for so long, and when I do turn on this strobe feature, and it does have IR as well, there's a buzzing to it. So I don't know if you can hear that from the camera, but you can feel it while you're wearing the helmet, which is actually really nice because a lot of guys at events, they have to go up to other people or kind of shimmy up in a corner or at a mirror or something and always like, hey, is it off or on? And I can feel it. So it's kind of a nice little, let's say, quirk to my kit from this little knockoff Manastrobe I got well over 12 years ago. So pretty awesome on that. Touching the button directly below that, this is the COTI power supply. It runs off two 18650s. This is where my build is still kind of in the evolution stage. These 18650s, they're quite big. And so Right here, I have some GMR gear. These are the Parasite battery holders. They're really nice. Hey, my night vision runs out of power, right? Because right now I'm using it to where the night vision runs off a AA. So over here, hey, all you do, you simply twist this. I actually did it last time I was at the range, impressed a guy. I did an immediate action reload for my night vision. The guy was impressed on how quickly I did it too. I didn't have to go through all my kit or anything like that. It was simply right there, ready to go. This other side, I have a CR123. What I can do, I do have the option. There are 18650 battery caps that you can put on these. So it took me a minute to find, but here are the 18650 battery covers, which are nice. So if I ever wanted to integrate these differently, I could. I choose not to. I think that 8 hours on the thermal for now is enough. I'll get into, when I wrap up the video, what my next project is over here. When it comes to the power for the 18650s and everything, I do have a rechargeable 18650 system, so I can charge up to 4 on each side as a total of 8, and I do have 8 sets of those batteries, so it's a shit ton of power. I could power my thermal up to 40 hours. Another cool kind of thing, before I leave the house, right, I charge all of them, but let's say if I ever needed more, if I really got low, or people, hey man, you got extra? I'm like, sure, I'm handing them out. I have a carport for this right here, so I could charge all the batteries out of my car if I needed to. For the counterweight, this is a standard ops core counterweight. It has just the traditional lead weights that it comes with in there. I've adjusted it over the years. My neck's gotten pretty good. Getting to the inside of the helmet, I have the 4D Deluxe pads. These are, I'd say, by far most people's favorites when it comes to high-end helmet builds. My favorite part, however, is this BOA system. It's a Team Wendy one. You can't really see it since I have a small. It kind of tucks up and away. This whole adjustable dial here is really nice. I played lacrosse in college, and all of our helmets always had dials in the back. I don't know why. I guess when it came to military and other like systems, you know, why they didn't come up with this any sooner. But it's really nice. It's not just the 4 straps that you'd think are in a helmet, right? This one has a few more. If you look, if I were to pull it out right here, I don't know if you can see that extra kind of cord. That is what you're adjusting when you tighten it. So it kind of goes across on like your almost temples. I know it sounds really weird, but it's very nice to have that center kind of gravity, not only, but center pull when you have so many, like in the night vision device, the thermal device, and you want all that centered on your head. Like you need that to where anytime you put on the helmet, it's adjusted for you. I can tell when someone else touches my helmet. I can tell when someone's fucked with this. I can tell every little thing when it comes to my setup because I've used it for so long. So the current project I'm on now, I like the 1431 battery pack. It's that more traditional night vision one that you'd expect. It also has an IR feature for these, which I would have 2 different IR ones, which would be nice. I could run IR blink while having red at the same time for events. I know that's very kind of one-off, but it would be nice to have. This particular one is 4 AA's, so this is 50 hours of power with the night vision. I don't know exactly how much it'd be when I want to combine them. Yes, I want to make 2 in 1. I want to have someone kind of splice or Y-splitter these wires. I do not want to spend $250 on the cord. I'm kind of lazy. I already have the components to make it. It'd be nice. I'm going to talk to an electrician here locally and see if I can get that done. The only kind of change you need to make in the setup, you need to adjust the COTI for 3 volts of power, not 3.7, or it's somewhere along those lines. It's in the manual, and I'll read it and I'll do it correctly, but that's kind of where I am right now. I like this current configuration. It's cool. However, I think this will be the new and improved here shortly. So other than that, and the new camera, that's where I'm at with this helmet build. And I really don't have, this is one of the few pieces of kit. I don't have a desire to try another helmet. I don't.